Hey man, you was in there standing up while you were eating. When they bump down on you, they ask you, is you under the five or is you a rapper? You said a rapper. I got facts about these, man. Hey man, I'm on your ass, man. You know what I'm talking about, man? Cause why, hold on, man. You ain't stand up? You ain't sit down? When it was time to stand on business? So you let a nigga basically get you, man, made you stand up and eat your food. I thought you supposed to sit down and eat. Man, you got the internet food, man. That nigga a hoe in jail, man. That nigga a buster, nigga. And I can get the penitentiaries on the phone, nigga. For real.
Everybody thought they knew Pooh Shiesty, the voice of the streets, the energy, the attitude, the image. Back in Blood wasn't just a song. It was a warning shot to the industry. Millions of streams, platinum success, Memphis behind him. He wasn't just winning, he was untouchable. But then 2021 hit. Federal charges don't care about fame. They don't care about clout. They don't care about who you are on the outside. In January 2022, Pooh Shiesty took a plea deal. The government wanted 10 years. He got 63 months. People called it lucky. But there's nothing lucky about federal prison, because the moment those doors close behind you, your name means nothing. Inside, there are no fans, no charts, no interviews. Only one question matters. Are you really like that, or were you just rapping? When Shiesty stepped into that system, his reputation walked in before him. Every inmate was watching, waiting. Was he built for this? Or was he just another rapper playing a role? And that's when the rumors started. Quiet at first, then louder. Stories began leaking from inside those walls. Stories that painted a completely different picture than the one the world believed. And just like that, the king of Memphis found himself inside a place where kings don't exist. At first, nobody believed it, but then the voices multiplied. People claiming to have inside knowledge started speaking out. Memphis insiders, inmates, bloggers, all telling the same story. According to them, Pooh Shiesty wasn't running anything inside. He was being tested, pressed. They said he was forced to stand while eating, like he was being punished. That his commissary was getting taken. That real inmates stepped to him and asked, "You one of us, or just a rapper?" And the alleged answer, just a rapper. If that was true, it would destroy everything he stood for. But it didn't stop there. Some even claimed he had to perform freestyle rap just to survive, to keep peace. Think about that. A man who once had millions listening to him worldwide, now performing behind bars just to avoid problems. It sounded humiliating. But then came the contradiction. Because at the same time, another reality was unfolding. Pooh Shiesty wasn't broke. Far from it. He had money. Real money. Flowing into his commissary. And in federal prison, money changes everything. While others struggled with basic meals, he was building full plates, stacks of ramen, tuna packs, snacks, protein bars, even steaks. Yes, real steaks. Because when you have money inside, you create your own comfort. You pay people. You trade. You build your own system. But money comes with a price. It makes you a target. And then came the most dangerous rumor of all, protective custody. Some said he was in PC. Others swore he was moving freely in general population. If he chose protection, it could damage his image forever. If he didn't, then someone was lying. At this point, the truth was buried. And the internet, it already made its decision.
Pooh Shiesty is facing prison time after pleading guilty to a gun charge in Miami federal court. The case against Lontrell Williams Jr. stems from 3 shootings during the past 2 years, 2 of them happening right here in South Florida.
Just when things couldn't get more confusing, the story flipped. An unexpected voice stepped in. A man who had spent 32 years in federal prison. An OG, a lifer, someone whose reputation couldn't be questioned. He went live, not for clout, not for views, but to defend Pooh Shiesty. And what he said shocked everyone. He called the rumors fake, said Shiesty stayed in his lane, didn't bother anyone, didn't try to prove anything. He was solid, the OG said. Now think about that. A man with nothing to gain, putting his name on the line for someone else. That carries weight, and suddenly the narrative cracked. Because facts started lining up. No major incidents reported, no violent records during his bid, good behavior credits, early release. That's not how someone moves if they're constantly being pressed. And when Shiesty got out, He didn't go on a press run trying to prove how tough he was. He didn't tell exaggerated prison stories. He stayed quiet, focused, started working again. Sometimes silence speaks louder than defense. So now there were two stories, one built on rumors, the other backed by someone who lived that life for decades. And people had to choose what to believe. October 2025. After years behind cold steel doors and under constant surveillance, Pooh Shiesty finally walked free. But freedom didn't feel like victory. It felt controlled. Because in the federal system, getting out of prison doesn't mean you're really free. It just means the battlefield has changed. Instead of bars and cells, now there were rules, strict ones. He was placed in a residential re-entry facility, a halfway house, no sudden moves, no reckless behavior. Every step monitored, every decision calculated. Where he went, who he talked to, what he posted, everything mattered. One mistake, and the system would pull him right back in. And for someone like Pooh Shiesty, that's a dangerous position to be in, because his life wasn't normal. He wasn't just another former inmate trying to restart life quietly. He was a rapper, a public figure, a name people still talked about. The industry was waiting. Fans were watching. The streets were judging. And pressure like that, it doesn't go away. It multiplies. The moment he came home, expectations hit him from every direction. People wanted music. They wanted energy. They wanted the same version of him that went in. But what they didn't understand was this. Prison changes you. Not always in ways you can see, but in ways you feel every single day. You move differently. You think differently. You trust differently. And now, Shiesty had to balance two completely different worlds. On one side, the music industry, flashing lights, money, opportunities. On the other, federal supervision, restrictions, and a system waiting for him to slip. That's not balance. That's a trap. And then it happened. Just months after getting out, reports started surfacing about a rearrest. No long warning, no slow buildup. Just like that, his name was back in headlines again. For most people, that might seem like just another legal issue. But in the federal system, a violation is everything. Supervised release isn't optional. It's a test. And failing that test can send you right back to the same place you just fought to escape, faster than you think. And if that wasn't enough, another bomb dropped. The FBI showed up at his family home in Memphis. Let that sink in. When federal agents pull up to your house, they're not guessing. They're not checking in. They're there for a reason. Doors knocked, questions asked, presence felt. Whether it was connected to his rearrest or something deeper, nobody knew for sure. But one thing was clear. The system wasn't done with him, not even close. Now imagine being 25 years old. You've already experienced fame most people only dream of. You've survived federal prison. You've walked out with your name still alive, your fan base still loyal. And now you're right back under pressure. Different environment, same stakes. Because the truth is, surviving prison and surviving freedom are two completely different battles. In prison, the rules are clear. Stay in your lane, respect others, avoid trouble. But on the outside, the rules are blurred. You've got friends pulling you one way, opportunities pulling you another, and the system watching every move you make. For someone like Pooh Shiesty, that's almost impossible to navigate perfectly, because the same environment that made him who he is the same environment that can destroy him. And that's the real conflict, not the rumors about prison, not the stories about what happened inside, but what happens now. Because this chapter, this is where most people fall. The transition, the pressure, the expectations. Some people come out of prison stronger, but get lost when they finally taste freedom again. Too many options, too much attention, too many chances to make the wrong move. And the system doesn't give second chances easily. Still, there's something different about him. When Pooh Shiesty came out, he didn't look broken. He didn't look defeated. He looked focused. He was already reconnecting with fans, already stepping back into music, already showing signs that mentally he survived. And that matters, because federal prison is designed to break people, mentally, emotionally, spiritually. The fact that he walked out still creative, still thinking ahead, still planning his next move, that says more than any rumor ever could. But now, he has to prove something even bigger. Not to the streets, not to the internet, but to himself. Can he stay disciplined? Can he separate himself from the same situations that got him locked up in the first place? Can he turn survival into growth? Because right now, everything is on the line. His career, his freedom, his future. And the truth is, this might be the hardest chapter he's ever faced. Not because of enemies, not because of prison, but because of choices. Every move matters now. Every decision echoes louder, and every mistake costs more than it ever did before. So when people ask what really happened to Pooh Shiesty in prison, maybe that's the wrong question. The real question is, what happens next? Because his story isn't over, not even close. He survived the cage. Now he has to survive freedom. And sometimes that's the part that breaks you.